Quick little one for the people at Roland. There is, I believe, a bug in the RC600 when it comes to the functionality of single shot functions of the loop. So what I've got here is two loops. Well, they're not loops, they're backing tracks. So I want them to play one shot and one shot. And what I want to do is start the click, and then I want to be able to play the loop at some point, well, the track at some point in the click. So if I have it set up now, this is set up as a loop, which is very important. If I turn the click on, just turn that up so you can hear. Right, so if I click this out of time, so if we go on beat 3 of the bar, it will wait until the start of the next bar, and then it will start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's great. However, if I take this loop here, track 2, as you can see here, and I go ahead and I set that to one shot mode, right? And I have to do the same with track 5, track 6, because they're complementary tracks. And now I start the click again, and I try to start this on beat 3. They start immediately on beat 3, not at the start of a bar. So 1, 2, 3. And this means it's going to be out of time. So if I start in between beats, so we go on 2 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. You can hear that's out of sync, which is what we don't want. But if I go back to the settings here, so let's set, you can see it's on one shot mode. So I'll go to track 2 just so that we make sure we're looking at the track that we can see. It's on one shot mode, and if I go across to all the syncs and everything here is on. Loop sync is on, tempo sync. If we turn that on, we're going to have the same problem. I was experimenting. So 1, 2 and 3, 4. So no matter what I do to the syncs, be it the tempo sync or the loop sync, as soon as you set this thing to one shot mode, it loses all synchronization with the metronome that's playing. Now, obviously I would assume this is a bug, because I want these to play one time, but I want them to start in time with the metronome that's going. So big bug, big frustration. What I have to do now is set these things to be in loop mode. So if I turn this in track 6 into one shots, I have to, if I've got the click going while we're playing, it starts, and then what I have to do is press stop with all stop, so that this and track 6 will stop at the end of the loop, and they will stop when this eventually gets around to the end. But this is a massive frustration, because when I'm performing, I would like to start the track and then continue performing, and have to remember to click stop for the things that are one shots. Massive oversight. Would really appreciate it if that was fixed. Second frustration with the Boss RC600 is to do with Midi program changes. If you change patches like this, you know, you can have 99 or 100 different patches, however many they've limited it to. It sends a program change message out the Midi out. So I think you can turn it so that it can turn program changes off completely, but it would be amazing if you could set it to receive program changes but not transmit program changes, because when it transmits program changes, everything that's downstream on the Midi pipeline will get changed. So if you've got patch 95 here for a song, but you want your keyboard on patch 48, but you still want to be able to send Midi stuff, you can't use this, because it will change that to patch 95, which is not going to line up. So program changes, if those could be adjusted, also fantastic. Third point of frustration. So in this patch, I've got some really nice input effects chains set up. So I've got 4 different input effects chains that I use for vocal processing. Now, you can only set up pedals via the assign nonetheless. So if I go to assign, 1, 2, 3, pedal 3 is targeting input effects, the whole bank decline, and the adjacent one is inclining. So if I go back to my input effects here, you can see we're on input effects C, and we can go up to D, down to B, down to A, and we can keep cycling through. But what you can't do is target a specific input effects bank to be active. So again, what I would like to have set up here is this would be input effects bank A, like targeted. This would be bank B targeted. this would be bank C, and this would be bank D. That way I don't have to scroll. If I want to go from, say, C to A, I don't have to go through B or through D. It would make a lot more sense to be able to have that functionality where we could target it immediately instead of having to scroll.